I'm sitting here with Dorian, the guitar player of the band Blues Pills, in the touring bus. Hello.
Hello.
Right now you're on your tour promoting your new and second album, Lady in Gold. How's been your tour so far?
It's been good. We started in Sweden and played a couple shows in Denmark and Hanover, and now here. So far, so good. It's yeah.
How would you describe your music in like 5 words?
Soulful, emotional, intense, a bit psychedelic. Yeah, blues.
Okay, I think that gets it quite
A little
well.
bit of that.
Yeah. Okay. So now, what would you say have been the biggest influences on you as a band and on you especially as a guitar player?
It's so many actually, but to pick one is so hard. As a band, Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac, and as a guitar player for me, Billy Gibbons as a child from ZZ Top is what got me into the guitar. So, but there's much more, and especially like the more soul influences. So it's hard to pick one.
Now, a lot of people would call your music like hippie-styled music. Is this something you can relate to? Maybe something you even intend? And if so, do you think like a hippie movement could still survive in our modern society? Difficult question.
Yeah, I think not it hasn't been intentional for none of us really to do something. Yeah, we're gonna run. Yeah, like with this. I can relate to what the hippie movement was, but that's what it was in the 60s, and I can relate to a lot of the values that they have: love, peace, and music, and having organic hair product or good food, and that's what that definitely relate to that, and the music that was around in the hippie era is a lot of what we're listening to.
Yeah.
But it's not like I think we're still using iPhones. We're still having computers and using internet, and that's really fun to keep in touch with friends and family. And I don't see it so much as like a renew, or let's do the hippie again.
So it's not really like a retro thing.
Or it's more like because for me that's the music that I love. A lot of it comes from that era, and I can relate to a lot of the what people were saying, and in a way it's kind of like maybe we're living this time again of like kind of questioning things that they did in the 60s due to what was going on. But I think it's always been kind of part of people's way of doing things, to question things, and to I don't know if I answered quite
you did
the
actually
answer.
quite well. Okay, so I think on the internet it's often written that you're a Swedish band. That's not totally correct. I think you combine 3 different nationalities in your band. I think you originally come from France. Your singer and your drummer comes from Sweden, and your bass player comes from the US.
That's right.
So how does such a bunch of people get to know each other, and how have you met? How have you come up with the idea to form a band?
I think the fact that it's more easy to just say we're from Sweden because and it sounds more complicated than it was. It's more like I met Zach and Corey, the old drummer, in France. I had a band, and they had a band, and my band was just with friends. We opened for their band. They were touring around Europe, and they had met Elin already, so they started to getting to know each other, and soon after that they started to write songs with Elin, and were planning on moving to Sweden. And they needed to have a guitar player, and they thought about me, and that was kind of like how it started. Then I was like, that sounds great, and flew to Sweden for the first time. Took a flight. It was my first flight actually. I was 16, and that's how it started.
Okay. Now, as you already said, you've just been 16 when you also, I think, moved to Sweden permanently. Has this been difficult for you, also considering that you've been just so young?
It's been a life lesson. It's been experience, and there's been difficult times, happy times, and it is like still, it's like I'm still French. I still have my parents in France in Brittany, and I still have my friends that I miss.
Okay.
So that's the more like the difficult part, is to keep in touch and come back whenever is possible to my, in a way, like my home where my parents, where I grew up. But then there's this whole new world of learning English. I couldn't speak English when I first moved at all. Because like most French basically can't speak English unless you're from an English family or something.
Okay. But so communication hasn't been a problem in the beginning?
It was. I had to learn English, and now I'm learning Swedish because it's fun to.
Okay.
Or I'm not learning actually I should be able to speak much more Swedish than I actually do.
Okay.
But I start to understand, and that's fun. And Sweden is a great country for music. And
I think that there are a lot of bands coming from Sweden.
And a lot of great musicians, and met great people, and and I love it. So,
so let's also talk about your new album, which I think you released in August this year, Lady in Gold. What is different compared to your first album, which is also called Blues Pills and was released in 2014, I think? Yeah.
That's right.
So what are the differences compared to the first album?
There's quite a few. There's a different drummer. Andre has been playing with us though since 2014, but it's the first record with him, and that brought a lot. The way we worked on the record was different, even though actually it's the same producer, same studio, but we worked on the songs in the studio all together. So it was more of a quite spontaneous feeling, and still took a lot of time, and more different influences. The first album is more blues rock, and on Lady in Gold we brought much more of soul influences, and we're kind of not thinking of just trying to play what we wanted to play, what felt right, without thinking we have to do like what we did on the first record. So I feel like we evolved and found much more of our own sound, actually, of like the way the songs are built together, and all the influences that are not just blues rock, which was more of the first album, and that I love for what it was, but more kind of like, this feels good, let's do that, and the songs are growing live, actually. Like it's fun now. This is the first. We started to play the songs live already, but it still feels really fresh to play them.
Yeah, I think we really managed it. I really like your new album. I think it came out quite great.
Thank you.
And generally speaking, how does the process of songwriting and producing an album works in your band? Who's the one writing the lyrics and the songs? Who comes up with the most ideas?
Zach and Elin write the lyrics together for most of the songs, and as I said, the first album was a lot of Zach and Elin's. They had the songs, and we arranged it in the studio together. But so basically, they're the main songwriters, and everybody kind of we work on the music together, and that's what it's been. Especially Lady in Gold, like the music, all of us have really been working on it together as a cooperative, like really cooperating, like bouncing off ideas of each other, and then Zach and Elin wrote the lyrics.
Lady
So the title of the album and also the title track is called Lady in Gold. So who is this mysterious woman in gold?
She is a made-up character. And basically she represents death.
Okay.
In a different way, because like
not such a negative way, maybe. Or
exactly, because like a lot of people, if you see or think of someone that's going to take your life away, it's like probably a dark, big man with like a sword or something, and he's gonna cut your throat. But in Lady in Gold, she's a lady, and she has more of a beautiful but mysterious vibe, and she kisses you. Just like bring you to the other side. Basically.
Like the last kiss, then. Okay.
Yeah, the last kiss.
Quite a nice imagination, actually. And has there also been a concept behind the whole album? Also following that theme, or is it more like every song stands for itself?
It's more every song stands for itself, but I think it's up to the people, actually up to the listener to also some people have thought about this lyric maybe from the first album connected to the second, or but it's more of song to song, and it's up to the people also to choose what Lady in Gold is for them, what the songs mean to them, and I think that's actually the beauty.
And I also think with this album you have now reached the highest top of, for example, the German album charts. Has this been something that you ever expected when you started the band? That you could get that successful?
No, not in that way. No.
Okay.
It's been more, we want to do music as good as we can, and that's what we're still doing every day. And when we found out we're on the German charts, we were on the bus like this, driving, and just everybody, that's awesome, and we had a show coming up, and it's like, let's keep on growing. We it's not like the final, we did it, now it's over. It's more like keep on developing as a band, and that's what it was from the beginning.
So even though your band is still quite young, all of you are still quite young, you have already been touring quite a lot throughout the whole world. What would you say has been your craziest touring experience so far?
We get to play Hellfest in France. It was a great experience. Such a big stage, and we get to play so many great places. And it's not really like a specific thing, or maybe that's I will realize that in 20 years, or like that one thing. That was but it's more like
Okay.
Every day is something new.
But having seen so many different places, would you say there's something like your favorite place to play live, maybe, or to spend time, like a country or
Germany?
Stage? Really?
Germany, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The German crowd's been so welcoming to us, and we definitely felt it when we on this tour. Like Hanover was the first show in Germany, and the people have been listening to the music, and they're really enjoying it and appreciating it, and that feels great on stage, because that's you get really like it's not just us playing, it's like the audience is really important, and the German audience has been really good to us.
Okay. And now, as you have already said, you also played on Hellfest, and I think you're playing on quite a lot of metal festivals actually. But I think your music isn't really that hard. I wouldn't call it metal music. No. So how comes, and do you feel comfortable in that surrounding?
How come? Because we are on a metal label, and we have also a booking agency that's really connected to the metal scene. And I think also what we play, like our influence are kind of like the roots of metal music, and I think that's why the metal audience have been also really welcoming to us. But I've never been actually listening to metal the most. Or yeah, I've had an Iron Maiden CD when I was a kid. I thought it was quite cool. But my thing is more blues rock and folk music, and sometimes I like heavy music too. But
depends on the attitude.
So a lot of the festivals, like Summer Breeze in Germany was I think we played. Still,
I saw you live there. It was really great. Yeah.
Right, cool. That was a great actually moment of. It was raining and the crowd still was there, and you felt it.
I felt it actually. Yeah.
So and Steel Panther was playing on the other stage, and so just before going on stage, I was just looking with Eve, a friend that was doing the back line, and we're just looking, and this is kind of interesting actually. Like this is not really what we're doing, but that's what they're doing, and we're going on stage, and so it's and then the next day we might have been playing a blues festival where it's a much older audience, and it feels good actually that we can.
So you also enjoy that kind of mixture of different festivals and different audience.
It's actually it's exciting because all kind of people can come to our shows, from young people to older, to metal fans, to blues fans, and if they're connecting to our music, that feels great. Also, it feels really good for us to see that all kinds of people are coming.
Cool. Now I think one could also call your music like rock and roll music. And now that you have become quite famous, would you say you also started this typical wildlife of rock and roll, becoming a rock star, or would you say it hasn't really changed that much for you?
No.
No.
Or like the rock star. It's a lot of traveling. It's there for the people that if you want to have a crazy actually rock star lifestyle, you can have it without playing music. You can just go out in bars every night. But we don't do that. And actually, the more we tour, the more it's important to actually care about ourselves, like to eat well, to sleep well, and I was saying that I don't believe in rock stars, but then my girlfriend told me that actually a rock star for me is just someone that's enjoying music. So you're a rock star, he's a rock star, they're a rock star. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we're enjoying music on stage, and that's what a rock star is.
Okay. Yeah, I think that some great final words. So I think we could leave it here. Cool. Thank you very much for the interview.
You.
Years go by.